Hello friends. In last lecture we discussed the different types of irrigation project, hydrology, hydrological cycle, rainfall, rain gauges and their different types. Okay. So now in this lecture we discuss the topics like methods of finding out the average annual rainfall of a catchment, then a runoff and methods of calculating the runoff and various terminologies used in hydrology. Okay, so first we see the various terminologies used in hydrology. So in that, first is the rainfall intensity. It is the maximum rainfall during a short period measured in per hour. Okay, it is called as rainfall intensity. So uh, per hour there is a short period there is a maximum rainfall, and we measured that rainfall in per hour. It is called as rainfall intensity. Next is the average rainfall. Okay, average rainfall means it is the arithmetic time average of rainfall, means it is the total rainfall divided by time period. Okay, so average means it is a total rainfall divided by time period, gives you the value of average rainfall. Next is the average annual rainfall. It is denoted by P, and it is the average value obtained by adding the annual rainfall, okay, of a station from for 35 years or more, and dividing that sum by the number of years. Okay, so this value will give you the average annual rainfall. Okay, next is the monsoon rainfall. So monsoon rainfall means it is the total quantity of rainfall during monsoon season. Okay, so this generally monsoon season, it is from 15 June to 14 October. Okay, so during that season, the actual total quantity of rainfall during that season, monsoon season, it is called as monsoon rainfall. Next is the average monsoon rainfall. Okay, so average means again it is the arithmetic mean of monsoon rainfall over a period of 35 years or more. Okay, then next is the average good and bad years. Okay, so first we see what is good year. So the year in which annual rainfall is more than 120% of average annual rainfall. Okay, it is called as a good year. In that the annual rainfall is more than the 120% of average annual rainfall. Next is bad year. So in bad year, it is a year in which annual rainfall is less than 80% of average annual rainfall. So below 80% of average, less than 80% of average annual rainfall means it is a category of bad year. And third one is a average or normal year. So in that, if the rainfall is with plus or minus 20% of average rainfall, then it is called as average or normal rainfall. Okay, next is the topic, methods of finding out the average annual rainfall of a catchment. Okay, so there are various methods to find out the average annual rainfall. First is the arithmetic average method. So first we see this arithmetic average method. This is a simple This is a simplest method of estimating average rainfall, and the average rainfall, it is calculated by arithmetic average of recorded rainfalls at the various rain gauge stations. If P1, P2, P3 up to Pn, let them are the let the values are recorded as a rainfall values measured at n number of gauge stations. Okay, so then by using the arithmetic average method, the P dash, okay, P bar is equal to what? It is the summation of all these rainfall values divided by number of rain gauge. Okay, so P1 plus P2 plus P3 up to Pn divided by n will give you the average precipitation over catchment area. Okay, where P1, P2, P3 are the precipitations in given time period at a station 1, 2, 3 up to n respectively within the catchment area. Okay, so this method includes the averaging of all amount that has been recorded at various rain gauge stations in the area is added, and then it divided by the number of rain gauges. Okay, next is the second method of calculating the average rainfall is representative area method or Thousand polygon method. Okay, so it is a common method of weighing the rain gauge observation according to area, and it is more accurate than arithmetic average method. Okay, so in this method the adjacent stations are joined by the straight lines, and thus dividing that entire area into series of triangles, and then perpendicular bisectors are erected on each of the lines, and thus forms this series of polygons, and each polygon contains one rain gauge station. Next, it is assumed that the entire area within any polygon, okay, see this figure. So from this entire area, it is assumed that the entire area within this within any polygon, it is near to the rain gauge station which included in polygon than to any other rainfall station. Okay, so then to find the area of each polygon as shown in figure. Okay, see this figure. From this figure we have to calculate the area of each polygon. If P is the mean rainfall of the basin, the area of basin is capital A, then P, then P bar is equal to P1A1 plus P2A2 plus P3A3 up to PNAN divided by A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus up to AN. Okay, so this factor will give you the this expression will give you the mean rainfall of the on the basin of area. Okay, where P1, P2, P3 up to Pn represents the rainfalls at respective stations, and A1, A2, A3 up to An are the areas of respective polygons. Okay, so by using Thousand polygon method, we can calculate this average rainfall by using this formula. Okay, and this method is based on the assumption that a rain gauge station best represents the area which is close to it. Okay, next method is isoetal method. This is the third one method of finding out the average annual rainfall. from a catchment. Isoetal method. So the isoeats means isoeats are the contours of equal rainfall, and isoetal map which shows the contours of equal rainfall, which presents more accurate picture of rainfall distribution. Okay, so these see this figure, these are the contours having equal rainfall, and that contours are called as isoeats. Okay, so in this method the rainfall values recorded at various rain gauge stations are collected, and from that isoetal map is prepared. Okay, so from that recorded values of rainfall, the isoetal map is prepared, and the area between successive isoeats, it is measured with the help of planimeter. Okay, so do you know planimeter? Planimeter is used to find out the areas of irregular figures. So similarly, the area between successive isoeats or successive contours having equal rainfall, the in between those two contours, the area is measured with the help of planimeter. Okay, then this if the rainfall values corresponding to the isoeats are P1, P2, P3 up to Pn, and A1, A2, A3 up to An are the corresponding isoetal areas, interisoetal areas. Interisoetal means area between successive isoeats. Okay, the average rainfall all over the catchment, it is calculated by the formula P bar is equal to A1 into P1 plus P2 upon 2 plus A2 into P2 plus P3 upon 2 plus AN minus 1 into Pn minus 1 plus Pn upon 2 divided by A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to A of n minus 1. Okay, so this will give you the average rainfall value using isoetal method. Okay, and this method is more accurate than other two methods. Okay, next point is a runoff. Runoff means it is a part of rainfall which does not lost in the atmosphere. Okay, or it is simply the amount of water which flows over the surface of earth. Okay, on the surface of earth, how many amount of water flows without any losses. Okay, after all the losses have taken place, it is called as runoff. Okay, so it is the part which does not lost in the atmosphere or in the soil also. Okay, it does not lost in the atmosphere or soil, but which is available for storage by the construction of dams across a river at a particular site along the river. Okay, and this runoff, it is expressed in centimeter or mm, and it is calculated by using this relation runoff is equal to rainfall minus losses. Okay, next point is the factors affecting runoff. Okay, so there are various factors which affects the runoff. Our first is the rainfall characteristics. Okay, so in rainfall characteristics, there are again factors which directly affects the rainfall characteristics, like intensity of rainfall, duration of rainfall, and distribution of rainfall. So first is intensity. So in case of intensity, the rainfall characteristic vary. If more the rainfall, then more will be the runoff. Okay. Next is the duration of rainfall. So if the duration is short, then it may not produce any runoff. Okay. And third one is distribution. So if the runoff is more if rainfall is over the entire area. Okay, if the rainfall it is on the entire area, then ultimately the runoff is more. Okay, so second factor which affects the runoff is topography. So in the topography, this it depends on the weather, whether it depends on whether it is smooth or rough. Okay, it also depends upon the surface and its degree of inclination. So according to surface and its degree of inclination, the topography directly affects the runoff. Next is geology. Okay, geology means it is related to soil. So this runoff directly depends upon the nature of soil, whether that soil is pervious or impervious. Okay, pervious means it is that layer which allow to pass water through it. Okay. Next is the surface condition. The runoff depends on surface condition, whether it is natural or cultivated, or drain or undrained. If cultivation or vegetation is more, then runoff is less. Okay, so it depends upon the different surface condition. Either it is a natural or cultivated, or it is drain or undrained. Depends on that, runoff may vary. Next is the storage condition. So in this storage, it may be in the form of surface storage, artificial storage and ground storage. It may be either surface or artificial or ground surface. So first consider surface storage. So in surface storage there is a runoff is less. Considering artificial storage, due to evaporation the runoff is less. And considering the ground storage, if soil is pervious storage, the storage will increase, but ultimately runoff will decreases. Okay, so depends upon the storage forms conditions, the runoff may increases or decreases. Okay, next is the shape of catchment. Okay, so catchment means it is the area from where the surface runoff flows through the dam or river. Okay, through the tributaries, streams, springs, it is called as a catchment area. So depends upon that shape of catchment. This is the shape of catchment. This is the factor which directly affects the runoff. So in a fan shaped catchment, as the area is more, the amount of runoff is also more, and in fern shaped catchment, the amount of runoff is less. Okay, and last one is meteorological conditions. So the amount of runoff will be more if the ground is saturated and in frozen condition. Okay, and it is less if the temperature is high. Okay, so these are the various factors which directly affects the amount of runoff. Okay. Next is the shape of catchment. So there are two shapes here: fan shaped catchment and fern shaped catchment. So see this figure, in fan shaped catchment, the area of catchment is more, and due to this the runoff is also more. And in fern shaped catchment area, the catchment area is less, so amount of runoff is also less. Next is the catchment area. What is that? It is the area from where the surface runoff flows to the dam or river through the tributaries, streams, springs. It is called as catchment area. Okay. Next is the calculation of runoff. So this runoff from a catchment can be calculated by the following methods. There are four methods of calculating the runoff. First is English method, second one is Binnie's method, third is Strange's method, and fourth one is runoff coefficient method. Okay. So first we see English method of calculating the runoff. So in this method, he derives the formula for catchment in West Maharashtra and divide that area as a ghat and non-ghat, ghat and non-ghat areas. Okay. So in ghat areas like Sahyadri ranges, where the rainfall is 200 centimeter or more, it is considered as a ghat area. And for non-ghat area where rainfall is less than 200 centimeter. Okay. So for he gives the formula for ghat area and for non-ghat areas, depends on the intensity of rainfall. So for ghat areas, the rainfall is equal to 0.84 p minus 30.54. Okay. So this is the formula for ghat area where p is more than 200 centimeter. Okay. And for non-ghat areas, r is equal to p in bracket p minus 17.74 divided by 254, where p is less than 200 centimeter. Okay. Next is the Binnie's formula. Okay. So in this method, this Sir Alexander Binney based his result on observation in Wainganga Basin in East Maharashtra and established the certain percentages of runoff from a rainfall which are given below. Okay, so in this method, the condition of catchment and other geological and hydrological factors are taken into consideration, and this Binnie's table and curve gives the idea of percentage runoff, and from that yield can be calculated. From the Binnie's table, if the topography is having same features, then it can be correlated with the standard chart, and from that runoff can be calculated. Okay. Next is the Strange's formula. So the Strange classified the catchment as good, average and bad. Okay. So he gave the curve and table corresponding to the daily monsoon and annual rainfall curve is drawn by taking the annual rainfall on x-axis and runoff on y-axis. So this runoff can be calculated directly from that curve for the known catchments by knowing the rainfall of catchment area, and in this case the geological conditions of catchment is also taken into consideration. So from this strange curve, okay, see this curve, on x-axis there is a annual rainfall and on y-axis there is a runoff. Okay, so from this curve, for the known values of catchments, runoff can be calculated directly from this curve. Okay, for the known values of catchment by knowing the rainfall. Okay, by knowing the rainfall we can calculate the runoff value by using this strange curve. Okay, next is the runoff coefficient method. This is the fourth one method of calculating the runoff, and it is applicable only for small projects. It is given by the following relation: capital R is equal to K into P, where R is the runoff and P means it is the rainfall in centimeter, and K is the runoff coefficient. Okay, so it depends on the various types. So see this chart, the values for runoff coefficient may vary. So for forest, it may ranges from 0.05 to 0.02. Then for road pavement, the value is 0.85. For urban areas, the value of runoff coefficient is zero point 0.3 to 0.5. Then park and farms 0.05 to 0.3, and for commercial and industrial areas the value of runoff coefficient is 0.9. Okay,